One of the most overlooked ideas in Watch Dogs 1 is how Aiden Pearce slowly erases his own identity long before the story ends, turning himself into a weapon rather than a person. This isn't just a stylistic choice or edgy character writing, it's a deliberate transformation that explains nearly every decision he makes and why he can never truly walk away. From the moment the tragedy that starts the story occurs, Aiden stops seeing himself as someone who deserves a normal life. Everything after that is punishment, and he chooses to be the one who carries it out. Aiden's use of aliases, burner phones, and constant movement isn't just about staying hidden from enemies. It's about cutting emotional ties before they can be used against him. Or, more importantly, before he can hurt anyone else by being close to them. He isolates himself from his sister, keeps his nephew at a distance, and avoids any real personal connection unless it directly serves his mission. Even when people try to help him, Aiden keeps them at arm's length, not because he doesn't trust them, but because he doesn't trust himself. This mindset explains why Aiden never questions the cost of his actions. He believes he's already lost his right to a normal conscience. Civilian casualties, collateral damage, and escalating violence don't slow him down because, in his mind, the damage was done the moment he survived when others didn't. His sense of responsibility isn't heroic, it's obsessive. He takes blame for events that weren't fully under his control and uses that guilt as fuel to keep going, even when stopping would be the healthier choice. The game reinforces this idea through how Aiden interacts with the world. Profiling strangers constantly reminds him of how broken and flawed everyone is, including himself. He sees addictions, crimes, secrets, and desperation everywhere, which only confirms his belief that the world is irreparably damaged. Instead of challenging that view, Aiden leans into it. If the world is already rotten, then becoming something frightening feels justified. What makes this transformation tragic is that Aiden is self-aware enough to know what he's becoming, but too consumed by guilt to care. He doesn't see redemption as something he deserves. He sees endurance as his role. As long as threats exist, he believes he must exist alongside them, even if it means sacrificing any chance at peace. The trench coat, the silence, and the emotional distance all become armor against a life he no longer thinks he's allowed to have. By the end of Watch Dogs 1, Aiden hasn't found closure in the traditional sense. He hasn't healed, forgiven himself, or rebuilt what was lost. Instead, he accepts a permanent state of exile, choosing to remain a shadow rather than risk becoming human again. That's what truly defines his story. Aiden Pearce isn't trapped by enemies or systems alone. He's trapped by his belief that the only way to make things right is to disappear into the role of the vigilante forever. What makes Aiden's descent so compelling is how it mirrors the player's own engagement with the game. The tools he wields, hacking, surveillance, manipulation, aren't just gameplay mechanics. They're extensions of his psychological state. Each phone tapped or system overridden isn't only strategic, it's a ritual of detachment, reinforcing the boundary between him and the human connections he's abandoned. Watch Dogs 1 frames the city as both playground and prison, and Aiden